today there is a little bit of construction going on outside the house here, so you might hear some humming and buzzing, but I figured, rain or shine, hell or high water, we're here. We're going to do the thing, right? We can always handle a little distraction. There's so many distractions in the world, especially these days. It's taking a lot of mental focus, going from like super quiet small town into big city. So anyway, that being said, this is Virtues for Life. This is my little sub channel of my Pilates channel. It's my way of trying to implement different virtues from the website Virtues for Life, and just ways that we can all relate to the world a little bit more positively. I think there's nothing wrong with that, and we could just about all use that right now. So that being said, this week's virtue is encouragement. And encouragement is defined as something that makes someone more determined, hopeful, or confident. It complements support and caring. And it transcends self-doubt and discouragement. So I think we could all use encouragement. I've never heard anybody discourage encouragement. Right. It's just one of those things, especially now, I'll give you a good example, kind of related to my reality this week. I'm moving into this new place and things are just kind of hard. I'm finding my rhythm, my routine. It's always, tricky to transition, right? So that being said, I was trying to do a workout the other day and I pulled my neck on this side. It's feeling much better now and I'm really not that affected by it right now. However, this week's workout, the workout that I'm going to be filming, is going to be an ab workout in which is like relieving neck tension, or at least not using your neck. And that's one big thing that I hear is neck pain and things like that throughout Pilates. So tune in if you want to work out without straining your neck. So anyway, back to the virtue. I pulled my neck muscle, and suddenly I got so discouraged. I was like, I'm trying so hard to stay in my routine, to do my thing, to stay on top of my goals and what's, keep my priorities afloat. And I pulled something in my neck, and suddenly it made me, not immobile, but it made moving really comfortable. I couldn't look up. I couldn't look to this side, so I was super uncomfortable and I got really discouraged. I got emotional. I'm sure there was many other factors that played in. It was kind of like underlying, but I got incredibly discouraged. I almost didn't film this video. I almost took a week off, but here I am and I showed up. How do I word this? I feel like encouragement should come first and foremost from yourself. I think it's really good to have a support system around you, but if you don't have that, if you're living alone, all these quarantine times and all that, if you don't really, or if you're an introvert and you just don't really have anybody to encourage you, I urge you to practice encouraging yourself, Excuse me, I'm getting a little emotional here because I just moved to a new place and I don't have like a network I'm such an extrovert, and my sense of self-actualization, which I don't know if you're familiar with the Maslow's theory, the hierarchy of needs. Yes, that's it. If you're familiar with that, then you'll know that the topmost point of the pyramid is self-actualization. It's what makes you feel whole. It's what makes you feel like yourself, and for me, that's, and I'm sure for millions of other people, that's why quarantine has been so hard, because I feel like most myself when I'm out and about and I'm socializing with like-minded people, or even not like-minded people. I love people, and I may be a rare exception to, I know it's a lot of people suck, but also a lot of people have amazing qualities, and I love bouncing ideas off of people. I love working with people to solve problems and get creative projects done. So you can imagine that suddenly being put in an environment in which I have to rebuild that sense of encouragement. I've got, phone conversations are great, and my best friends and my siblings and my parents and my relatives, I get so much encouragement from them. But some days maybe you don't want to talk on the phone. Maybe you just want to go into the bathroom and look in the mirror and be your sense of encouragement, right? You can be your sense of, of support, of caring, this sounds so cheesy, but care about yourself, and so many times in my life, I've just kind of dropped the ball on caring about myself, and not just self-care, self-love. It means genuinely caring, looking in the mirror and taking a good hard look at who you are and what you want to get done, even if it's just that day. What do you want to get done in a day? Can you encourage yourself enough to get your daily tasks done, enough to take that next step towards those bigger goals that you're making for yourself? And in that sense, for the example that I gave of pulling a neck muscle, it's so funny that some little thing, it was the straw that broke my back. I'm calling myself a camel, I guess now. But it's so funny that one little thing can kind of send us crumbling down and have our sense of, self-support and self-care and all that, just kind of dwindling. And, I sometimes when I make these videos, I know I'm still new at all this. I know this is really unrefined. This is a very raw, I don't do any editing to these. This is a very raw glimpse into my psyche. I'm having a conversation with you, but with myself as well. So I'm having to transcend self-doubt quite often. Posting these for everybody to see is that, I can't seek external validation. I cannot. If I seek solely external validation, well, then what's the point of doing all this? I'm doing this to self-satisfy, I have to encourage myself to do these things. Otherwise, they just wouldn't get done. And I know there's, however many people view these, it's not a matter of how many people, it's a matter of the people who do see it. Does it resonate with you? Does it resonate, with the greater collective right now? Right, I've got all these thoughts running through my head when I'm in the process of making these videos, in the process of posting these videos, and it's super easy to doubt yourself, to doubt myself, but I'm on a journey. I'm committing to it. And that's one thing that encouragement also complements, I feel is commitment. By committing to something, you are encouraging yourself to be committed. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought there. There was a beautiful bird that just flew by the window. There's Orioles out here. It's really cool. Sorry, it was doing something weird though. Anyway, by committing to what I said I was going to do, by committing to filming these videos, I am encouraging myself to do so. And so that's basically what I'm trying to wrap this whole conversation into today is self-encouragement. Yes, the virtue is encouragement, and maybe that's how all of these virtues should stem about is how do you discover that within yourself? And that was kind of last week was dignity, right? Dignity is kind of in a totally different realm because you can't really dub yourself a person of dignity if you're not behaving in such a way to deserve that title. But at the same time, encouragement kind of starts with you. If you believe in yourself, then if you believe in what you're doing, if you think that what you're creating and what you're building and what you're saying and your actions, if you believe in yourself, then it's easy to find that encouragement to stay afloat, to keep the ball rolling, to keep the wheel turning. But if you feel that sense of self-doubt and feel discouraged, well then sure, you're probably not going to get those things done, or it's going to take a lot longer. But even more so if you're seeking that externally. So, right. I mean, take me as a prime example of, I could really care less. I mean, obviously I care that people see these videos and resonate with them, but I could care less about how many people see them. What I care about is that the people watching this, you, the viewer, if you resonate, if you feel what I'm talking about with you, if it really gets you in your heart, in your gut, in your soul, if you feel what I'm talking about, that's what encourages me. That's what keeps me showing up. So I am very heightened today, as you can tell. Lots of energy. These beautiful roses are from the garden out back. So there's so many, that encourages me. The flowers are just, wow, just beautiful. So, so let's start a dialogue here. If you feel discouraged, maybe I could help you feel encouraged, and you can use me as a resource. You can use me as a e-friend, an internet friend. Oh my God, I'm like 80 years old, an e-friend. But you can use me as a resource. That's what I'm here for. I want to be your sense of encouragement, and I want you to help you find that sense of self-encouragement. So I will wrap this up in a nice, sweet little bow. I really hope I didn't say as many times this week, because I watched last week's video and I was like, wow, that's a lot of ums as I say but so thank you for just swimming down this stream of consciousness with me. And it is a lot of fun. I love kind of diving into this metacognition process, thinking about my thinking about these virtues and how I behave in the world, how I relate to the world. These have really helped me. Even though despite the somewhat turbulent transition of change, which is inevitable, change is always turbulent. Rarely, if ever, have I ever experienced a seamless, everything's perfect. No, that's not life, but that's okay. So that's why we're here. That's why we show up. That's why I do these videos every week, as a means of motivation, of encouragement. There's the bow. All right. Ding. And a little note just for you. So thank you. And I will see you guys next week for our next virtue. And if you want to work out with me this week, a little piece of lint, then let's go ahead and get moving together. It'll be a nice tension release. I'll do a little neck warm up at the beginning. If you've experienced whiplash or pulled muscle or just strain in your neck in general, tight shoulders, which inevitably lead to neck tension, this is the workout for you. So just a little plug there. All right, you guys, thank you. And I will see you next week. Mwah.